The JP 2.5 year anniversary is upon us, and we are getting a new anniversary banner. And with that anniversary banner, we are getting free summon tickets and a free UR memory. That's right, completely free. By the time you have done all of the logins and you have completed all of the missions, you will have 50 tickets total. That is 5 free multis. That is absolutely amazing. And then additionally, if you do the missions and the logins, you will get this free memory right here. It is called a cute piece. The art is absolutely amazing. I love the way Present Mike is laughing in the background. It's so cute. So this memory increases the character's critical hit rate by 25% if there are any UA high teachers on the team. It's a crit memory, that's pretty good. The second part is alright, but it's not my favorite. When character's HP is below 30%, restores character's HP by 30% up to 1 time, and increases character's plus ultra gauge by 50% up to 1 time. That's alright. I don't like the health stipulations, but just having a crit memory in general, I would consider this memory to be decent and worth getting, and you can get multiple copies of it by completing the missions and doing the logins, so you want to make sure you're doing that. As far as keeping copies separate, I don't necessarily recommend keeping the copies separate on this one. Go ahead and put your copies into one memory towards DXing that memory, because that will probably be the most useful way to actually utilize this free memory. In addition to the free memory, we have this banner here, the JP 2.5 year anniversary banner. This will be starting on the 23rd of November and run up until the 17th of December. You will be able to exchange for a couple of different items on this banner. The memory that you see here is called the 2.5 year anniversary memory. Who would have thought? It is going to increase character's power by 30% when HP is 50% or higher. When character's HP is below 50%, increases character's defense by 20% and regenerates HP by 15% for 3 turns, up to 1 time. Also increases character's max HP by 15% if there are any female characters on the team. And the art is nice. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not the biggest fan of this memory. I do want it just because it is a limited 2.5 year anniversary memory, and with these anniversary memories, you can only get them during the anniversary. They never come back, so that might make it worth pulling on, but overall the effect isn't anything like that you necessarily need, so keep that in mind. But you will have 5 free multis on this banner, where they will have a lot of the general pool units on that banner, as well as this memory, and you'll have a chance to get this memory in those 5 free multis. If you don't get in those 5 free multis, you can spend hero gems, but you probably don't want to with the other banners that are coming up, and we're going to talk about those in a little bit. But before we get to those banners, let's talk about a few more things. So the very first thing is we have an anniversary campaign that is going to be going on, starting on, I believe the 22nd is when the campaign actually starts, a day before the other banners, and you are going to be able to log in and get bonus drop rates and stuff like that. So starting, it starts on the 23rd, my bad. So starting on the 23rd, I know you guys can't see this top one, but item drop rate will be ×5 for normal and hard quests. You'll also have dispatch up, hero bases up, all that good stuff with the really high rates. And then on the weekend of the 2nd, you'll have another ×5 drop rate. And the other big one on the weekend of the 9th for December, you will have another 5 times drop rate. So that 5 times drop rate, absolutely take advantage of that. Level up your character ability boards. If you have characters that you've been waiting to work on, now is the time to do it with these ×5 drop rates. In addition to all the stuff coming for the 2.5 year anniversary, we of course have a new Climax battle that has been teased in game, and now we finally have info on how this Climax battle is going to go down. It's going to be really interesting. So here at the top, we have some recommendations. These are things you're going to want your characters to have. You're going to want them to have speed up, you're going to want them to have critical hit rate up, you're going to want them to have power down, speed down, and you're also going to want them to have critical hit rate down. Okay, so if you have green characters, these are the things you should be looking for on your green characters. Let's take a look at what Nighteye and All Might can do, because in this Climax battle, you're going to be taking on both of them, which is crazy. So the traits for Nighteye: he gains critical resistance up after defeating one of his opponents. Hopefully you're not letting him defeat your characters, because you don't want him getting that resist up, right? He gives max HP down to all of his opponents when he has critical resistance up. Okay, so that is going to be dangerous if he actually Reduces your max HP. Need to be very, very careful. Decreases the skill impact and defense of strength type opponents. Decreases the skill impact and defense of mind type opponents. And increases the skill impact and defense of destruction type opponents. So it seems like you're going to want destruction and int type characters to make the most of this run against Nighteye. Takes reduced burning and bleeding damage. His resistances to confusion and binding increase when he is affected by these status elements. Has immunity to skill seals, paralysis, blinding, fear, meat lump, and stun. And then just this extra little thing. Has immunity to most status elements. So I mean, like, basically don't rely on status elements for this climax battle at all. Don't pick a character and you're like, oh, they're going to do so many status elements like Todoroki. Yeah, it's not going to work out. Every time this HP falls to a set amount or lower, a new phase begins and his behavioral patterns change. He becomes invincible when starting a new phase, like all climax battles. So for his main skills, he cancels status elements of all allies and gives them skill impact up and speed up. Gives cancel status elements and HP recovery to a single ally excluding himself, so to All Might. Cancels the temporary buff of all of his opponents and gives them skill impact down and speed down. Cancels all status elements of all opponents and all allies and cancels all of their temporary buffs. Gives himself stun immunity and the ability to make a last stand. Yes, he has a last stand, which is annoying. And restores the HP of a single ally. He is going to be healing All Might. This buff cannot be canceled, blocked, or blocked from restoring HP. So all of the stuff they just added into the game, like blocking buffs and blocking healing, does not matter. Deals damage to a single opponent, cancels their temporary buffs, and gives them plus ultra gauge down. Gives himself the ability to evade. Deals damage to all of his opponents, cancels their temporary buffs, and gives them skill impact down and speed down. So you're not going to want to rely on temporary buffs. This actually could potentially be a very good climax battle for the green Bakugo, because I don't think his stuff counts as temporary, even though it stacks. I might be wrong. I'd have to look into that, but I'd be interested to see how he does in this climax battle. Deals damage to all of his opponents and switches them out with backup characters. Ooh, be careful about that. This skill gains bullseye and piercing shot, so that is a big one. Make sure your backup characters are going to be able to fit in on your team when your main characters get swapped out. Deals damage to a single opponent, cancels their temporary buffs, extends their cooldown time, and gives them plus ultra gauge down. Gives himself the ability to evade. That is his plus ultra move, so that's actually really crazy. He's going to be a hard climax battle. I am excited for it. I love this endgame content. It's amazing. All right, for skills, predictive analysis decreases skill impact of all strength type opponents by 50% and decreases their defense by 50%. Decreases skill impact of all mind type opponents by 50% and their defense by 50%. Increases skill impact of all destruction type opponents by 40% and defense by 40%. So destruction is probably the way to go in this particular climax battle. For All Might, traits, gains power up after defeating one of his opponents. Once again, do not let one of your characters die. That will be the end of you. Has HP regeneration and the ability to make a last stand. He also has last stands. Yes, annoying. His power increases every one turn. Gains composure when his HP is 50% or higher, and his critical hit rate increases after one turn. Takes reduced skill damage when his HP is below 50%, and his HP restores after one turn. Status ailments that last for more than 2 turns will then affect a single ally excluding himself. That's very interesting, right? Okay. Takes reduced burning and bleeding damage. His resistances to confusion and binding increase when he is affected by these status ailments. His immunity to skill sealed, paralysis, blinding, fear, meat lump, and stun has immunity to most status ailments as well. So once again, just don't rely on status ailments in this particular climax battle. Main skills, gives himself critical hit rate up and critical skill impact up, so he's going to be a big damage dealer. Deals damage to a single opponent and stuns them. Okay, so you're going to want some stun immunity. Sounding like Yayorozu might be a decent support since she's able to hide and buff your teammates. Deals damage to a single opponent. This skill gains critical skill impact up. Deals damage to all of his opponents. This skill also gains critical skill impact up. Gives himself skill impact up speed up, and critical hit rate up. This buff cannot be cancelled or blocked. Cancels the last stand buff for all of his opponents. Okay, and deals damage to them. So your last stands don't matter, I guess. Maybe Yaoyorozu won't be good. This skill gains critical skill impact up, piercing shot, and bullseye, plus ultra move is what that one was. Gives himself stun immunity and the ability to make a last stand, and restores the HP of a single ally as well. So he can heal Nighteye. Nice, they just heal each other. Deals damage to all of his opponents and stuns them. Ooh, stun is going to be so annoying. This skill gains critical skill impact up, deals damage to all of his opponents and stuns them, gains critical skill impact up. So yeah, a lot of stun, a lot of healing, a lot of status element nullification. It's going to be an interesting climax battle. Once again, you're looking for characters with these type of traits right here. Those are the ones that are going to thrive, and the characters I mentioned aren't necessarily characters that are going to do well, just kind of what thoughts that go through my mind as I read through this. I don't know what characters are actually going to do well until we get into the game and test it. I don't think anybody really knows. But yeah, this is just to maybe help you guys prepare a little bit. You can prepare your characters by looking for characters that do these things. Hopefully that helps you out at least the tiniest little bit. Now, the reward for completing this climax battle on double S difficulty is amazing. All right, you get this free UR Nighteye, and his kit is actually pretty good. So his plus ultra move is called Vision Strike. It deals 650% damage to a single opponent. Gives character the ability to land a bullseye for 2 turns, gives a barrier that nullifies 1 hit to all allies. I wish that was evasion. Evasion's better than barriers because barriers go away after 1 hit on multi-hits, which is kind of annoying. Also increases this skill's critical hit rate by 40% if the opponent is a strength type character. His first action skill is Special High Density Personal Seal, deals 325% damage to all opponents, decreases their speed by 30% for 3 turns, with a low chance 25% of stunning them for 2 turns, and he gives all allies a barrier that nullifies 1 hit with this skill as well. So having an attack all already makes him somewhat viable for the current meta. That is good. A 5-turn cooldown on that though, so keep that in mind. His second action skill is called Foresight Attack, deals 425% damage to a single opponent with a medium chance 45% of blocking their buffs for 2 turns. I don't like the medium chance, I like guaranteed blocking of buffs, and it's only on 1 opponent, so that's okay. When used in a successfully executed skill chain, increases critical hit rate of all allies by 30% for 3 turns. That's the big one. That is massive support. And then he also nullifies 1 of their status elements. That is really, really good support, and he does damage with that support move. So I would call that move right there is actually a win and a cooldown time of 4. His first auto skill is called Humor number 1. Increases critical hit rate of all ally heroes by 15%, so a 45% crit increase for allies if you're running him on the right team. That is insane crit support. Increases max HP of all allies by 5% after character initiates 2 critical attacks up to 8 times. Also regenerates HP of all allies by 15% for 3 turns after character initiates 5 critical attacks. Okay, and of course crits are going to be easy because he is a crit support. So in addition to getting crits, you are also increasing your allies' max HP, and you are also healing them. A very, very interesting character, and this is a free-to-play character, so he's going to be a crit healing support. Very interesting. His second auto skill, I Can See Everything, increases critical skill impact of all allies that are pro heroes by 20%, so making them hit even harder with their crits. After character initiates critical attacks 3 times, shortens character's action skill cooldown time by 1, and cancels 1 of the character's status elements. So his 5-turn cooldown becomes a 4-turn cooldown, and his 4-turn cooldown becomes a 3-turn cooldown. A 4-turn and 3-turn cooldown crit healing support character who does decent damage with an attack all. Sounds pretty good when I put it that way, right? Plus he has the ability to nullify status elements, and he gives barriers to your allies. He's pretty solid, right? He just does so much all the way around. It's nuts how much this Nighteye does. And there are his arts for when you get him in game. We'll take a look at Nightaye's plus ultra here towards the end of the video, as well as the other new characters that we have to talk about. Okay, so we are through the climax battle stuff. Now we get into the really interesting stuff. We have a new Impact Fest celebration hot picks recruit for Bakugo, and you might have already figured that out by looking at the bottom left of the screen, but this banner will be dropping on the 23rd. It is not going to feature any new memories, okay? So don't worry about the memories. You are literally only pulling for Bakugo at this point in time. So let's take a look at what Bakugo can do. His plus ultra move is called Winning Impact. It deals 700% damage to a single opponent with a medium chance 60% of burning the opponent for 3 turns. Increases this skill's skill impact by 30% when the opponent is affected by power down. Increases this skill's skill impact by 30% when the opponent is affected by speed down. Increases this skill's skill impact again by 30% when the opponent is affected by critical hit rate down. Also, shortens the cooldown time of all allies by 1. That is insanely good. He already does 700% damage, but then he's getting an extra 90% skill impact, and he lowers cooldown time. That plus ultra is absolutely insane. That is busted. I'm so glad it's not an attack all, because then it would be really busted, but like, that's good. His first action skill is called Upper Blast. It deals 450% damage to a single opponent. It cancels 2 of their temporary buffs. It decreases their defense by 30% for 3 turns, which is big, and blocks their buffs for 2 turns. So he is getting rid of any buffs that they have, 2 buffs. He is blocking future buffs that might come in, like healing. And then he is also lowering their defense, making them easier to kill. That is really good. Don't sleep on that. That is insanely good. Also, increases character's plus ultra gauge by 40% when used in a successfully executed skill chain. So he also has a technical hit, and he raises his own plus ultra gauge, which is amazing. That's all really good stuff. A cooldown time of 4, but with this plus ultra, becomes a cooldown time of 3. Very solid. His second action skill is Crash Burst. Deals 300% damage to all opponents, so he has an attack all, putting him into the meta somewhat. Decreases their power by 25% for 3 turns. Defense by 25% for 3 turns. And speed by 35% for 3 turns. Those are all your decreases, right? That you need for the plus ultra up above. And this is hitting all opponents. But I just want to point this out. If you do this move and this move on an opponent, you are decreasing their defense by 55%. That is absolutely massive. That is insane. That is going to make this character do so. By the time you get to your plus ultra turn with the extra skill impact, I wish the 99,000 damage like cap could be broken, because this guy is going to be consistently hitting 99,000 damage all the time. He's going to be insane. His first auto skill, Weakness Frenzy. After character initiates 2 critical attacks, decreases power of all opponents by 15% for 3 turns, speed by 15% for 3 turns, and critical hit rate by 15%. You could probably get those critical attacks fairly easily, so you want to run a crit memory on this character if you can. His second auto skill, Unwavering Admiration, gives character the ability to land a bullseye and increases speed by 25% for 3 turns, up to 1 time. After character initiates critical attack 1 time, increases character's critical hit rate by 10%, up to 5 times, and critical skill impact by 10% up to 5 times. So he also increases his own crit every time he lands a crit, which is insane. So crit memory on this bad boy, and he is just going to pop off for you. He is going to be absolutely insane, and I think he's going to be very good in the upcoming Climax battle against Nighteye. He's just going to be absolutely insane. And those are his character arts. I actually like the blue suit they went with, and once again, we'll take a look at his plus ultra animation later on in the video. The last banner we have to talk about is going to be happening after the 2.5 year anniversary at the beginning of December, and this banner I am so hyped for. I might be more hyped for this than I was for Nighteye and Bakugo. I feel like we have been begging for more pro heroes and villains, and now we are finally getting a new pro hero in the game. We are getting Edgeshot, baby, on the 1st of December, a Ninja's home security recruit. It'll, of course, feature a new SR memory, a new UR memory, and then Edgeshot himself. Additionally, we will be getting an event memory, which is this memory right here. This will be a free-to-play memory, and it's called Securing the Liberators. Decreases speed of all villain opponents by 25% for 3 turns, up to 1 time. Increases character's critical hit rate by 30% if there are any pro heroes on the team. That is actually a really good SR memory because it gives you 30% crit rate for the whole battle. And that's free. That's a free memory. That's actually solid and very, very useful, especially if you are a newer player lacking in the crit memory department. So you want to make sure you get this free-to-play memory if you can. Onto the banner memories. So for the summonable SR memory, it is called Thunderous Roar to start. When equipped by a pro hero, increases character's defense by 30% and increases character's stun resistance. Also increases character's critical resistance by 15% for 3 turns when used in a successfully executed skill chain. That is pretty decent because it is a technical hit memory, and it's also going to give you extra defense and crit resistance. I don't know when you're really going to use this per se, because it seems like it would be a VE tower memory, but they have not confirmed any new VE towers or case files in this data download. So if you were wondering about that, we don't have anything confirmed for that yet, but we do at least have Climax battle to look forward to. We have these sick characters to look forward to, and we can try them out in both Climax battle and Ultra Arena. So we do have quite a few things to look forward to in the game overall. The new summonable UR memory is called, however you say this, Somnambulist. Okay, maybe. How does she say it in the series? It's not that, right? That's Midnight's move, right? That's not how she says it though. But anyways, and Chain Prison. When equipped by a pro hero, increases character's critical resistance by 30% and gives character the ability to evade 2 times, up to 1 time. Also increases character's power by 40% when HP is 80% or higher. You know, for a UR memory, that kind of feels a little bit lackluster. I don't know, I just gotta read through it again. Increases character's critical resistance by 30%, okay? That's okay, and gives the character the ability to evade 2 times, but only 1 time? I don't know, that's just like, it's not that great. Also increases character's power by 40% when HP is 80% or higher. Like, that's such a steep stipulation to increase the power on a UR memory. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of that UR memory effect. I don't feel like it's very good. The art team is always killing it, guys. Like, I rarely ever say anything bad about the art, like, ever. So the art looks amazing, but the effect, I feel like, leaves something to be desired. But that's okay, because the memories are not the big draw. The big draw here is, of course, the man himself, Edgeshot. So let's talk about what he can do. I am so excited. I've already read through his kit, you know, and oh man, I'm ready. His plus ultra move is called Ninpo 1000 Sheet Pierce. Deals 550% damage to a single opponent. Increases character skill impact relative to speed. Increases character's critical resistance by 35% for 3 turns and gives character the ability to evade 3 times. This skill gains piercing shot when character is agile. Okay, so agile is a new effect in the game for Edgeshot. And it's actually a bit of an interesting effect the way it works, because it's quite a bit different from anything we've really seen before. So what Agile does is it gives a medium chance that the character's attacks will miss, and doesn't affect plus ultra moves or skills that strike all opponents though. So that means that as long as Edgeshot is agile, he has a chance to not be hit, which is kind of cool, and it's basically like the reverse of blind, you know? So that works out really interestingly. His first action skill is called Piercing Kickback. It deals 350% damage to a single opponent, increases character's skill impact relative to their own speed, increases character's critical resistance by 30% for 3 turns. When character is agile, gives character the ability to evade 2 times, and this skill gains Piercing Shot. So he's just going to be dodging and doing tons of damage and being a speedy boy. Really, really good. And then also we have to mention his cooldowns are insane. 3-turn cooldowns on both moves. That's really, really good. And then his second skill is an attack all, deals 200% damage to all opponents and decreases their critical hit rate by 35% for 3 turns. That's good. Increases character skill impact relative to their own speed. Also gives character the ability to evade 2 times when agile. So once again, just dodging, having a lot of speed, doing big amounts of damage based on speed. Also debuffing the enemy now. And their crit rate. So that's all insanely good. His first auto skill, Ninjutsu User. Makes character agile when character has critical resistance up. Also increases speed of all allies by 40% when character has the ability to evade. That is very good in PvP. 40% for all allies? Holy crap. If that's not meta, I don't know what is. He's going to be insane. His second auto skill, Signature Move, increases character skill impact by 40% when character is agile. After character receives 3 non-critical attacks, gives character the ability to evade 2 times up to 3 times, and decreases the power of all opponents by 15% for 3 turns. It's not even fair, man. If they aren't critting, he gets evasion, and he gets rid of their crit rate with his action skill. He is actually just nuts. He is going to be so good, guys. I am so excited for it. Like, Edgeshot, can you see why I'm so excited for this character? Like, more excited than I am for Bakugo or Nighteye. Like, Bakugo and Nighteye are sick in their own right. Of course I'm going to summon for Bakugo, but like, this guy right here, I love it when new characters come to the game, and this feels like a new character who is actually going to be very good. Not like Ojiro, who was like meh, right? But this guy is going to be insanely good. But let's go ahead and take a look at all their plus ultras, and we'll end the video off with those. These plus ultras are provided courtesy of Hydros Impact. If you guys haven't checked out his channel yet, go check that out. All right, let's go ahead and watch Nightaye's first. This is the free-to-play Climax battle character. Ooh, I like the black and white effect. Oh, they actually showed it before it happened. Oh, man. Okay, they put some thought into that one. It's better than what I expected. It's so much better than the SR version, honestly. The SR version, I guess, just set such low standards for me that I did not expect it to be that good. That was really good. Honestly, I like the black and white effect. It's very cool. The way it does like the movie scene and stuff. For a free-to-play UR, hey, I'm there for it. I'm so there for it. That's pretty good. Next up, we have Celebration Bakugo. Let's see what he's got. Wait, what? Oh, that was an intro. Okay, that was throwing me off. Okay, this better be good. Oh, the extra explosion at the end kind of got me. He looks kind of weird in that end scene, I'm not gonna lie. He looked kind of weird. I like the flying around, actually. It's nice. It looks good. They put in some time on this animation. They got the custom background, of course. That extra explosion right there at the end, though, that's what gets me. He looks weird like this, putting it. Does he not look weird? That doesn't feel like Bakugo. That just doesn't, I don't know. It feels weird to me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And last but not least, we have Edgeshot. Let's go ahead and see what this one looks like. I am so ready for this. Better be actually, okay, it is good. I was gonna say it better be actually good. It's very good. It's so good. This is amazing. I really do like this animation. Oh my goodness. It's so sick, guys. Oh my gosh. Let me know down in the comments, who are you guys most excited for? What part of the JP 2.5 year anniversary are you most excited for? The free summons that they're giving us, the free memory, the climax battle, you know, there's a lot going on in the game. I am excited to do all of it. Hopefully you guys are too. If you guys enjoyed the video, please go down there, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.